First and foremost, South Sudan is known as the Republic of South Sudan, which is a landlocked country in Africa. And South Sudan is one of the youngest country today and possess abundant natural resources, especially oil. They face severe macroeconomic problems such as inflation, poverty, and unemployment. And one more thing is persistent political conflict, heavy reliance on oil revenue, and underdeveloped infrastructure have worsened this macroeconomic problem. Now, let's proceed with the cause of macroeconomic problem in South Sudan. One of the reasons why macroeconomic problem happen in South Sudan is because they are dependent on oil revenue. They are heavily reliant on oil as a major government revenue, and as we can see, the effect in early 2024 rupture in the Dar blend oil pipeline has occurred, which led to estimate of $7 million profit loss. And one more thing, South Sudan oil accounted for 98% of their export. Furthermore, political instability and conflict also contribute to macroeconomic problem in South Sudan, especially political crisis after the independence of the country in 2011. Conflict quickly turned from political struggle to violence, which we can see since mid-December 2013, thousands of people have been killed in armed conflict. On the other hand, unresolved post-separation issue with Sudan also led the country, which is South Sudan, to adopt profligate military spending, which they are heavily invest in arms race that lead to the investment from other sector. As we can see, SPLM, the ruling party and its leadership slip into a ethnocentric approach of government. Last but not least, one more thing that lead to macroeconomic problem in South Sudan is currency depreciation. For your information, exchange rate policy management in South Sudan has been a problematic issue since their independence. Lack of central bank independence, political interference, and poor policy decision also contribute to this problem. And one more thing you need to know, the government or the country has adopted a fixed exchange rate policy after independence. However, they decide to float the currency in 2015 when they found out it difficult to defend against it difficult to defend the fixed exchange rate against speculative attack from outside of the country. And one more thing, the net foreign asset and official reserve of the Bank of South Sudan also declined for most of the time after the independence in 2011.
All right, this is the next part of the analysis, which focus on the effects in South Sudan. The twin challenges of high inflation and the unemployment feed into each other, creating a cycle that weaken the entire economy. The first major effect is the oil sector. As the main source of government revenue, any drop in oil production drastically cuts a national income. This forces spending cuts and slows development, and directly leads to the higher unemployment and economic instability. Next, we are looking at two financial sectors. A weak banking sector fails to control inflation or finance businesses stifling growth. Meanwhile, an underdevelopment agricultural sector, due to low investment, keeps living standard low and export potential weak. Moving to trade, a heavy reliance on imported goods becomes a major vulnerability. When the currency depreciates, imports become more expensive. This directly increases inflation and also contributes to the unemployment. For the next, the public sector. The public sector is affected as a government, a primary explorer, delays salaries and hiring when revenue falls. Underlying all this the critical issue and security and political instability, which disrupt all business and farming activities. Finally, we see how conflicts devastated the infrastructure and construction sectors, reducing the supply of goods and pushing a price up. The page also provides a summary list of all the affected sectors, we have discussed. From oil to the industrial policy.
This slide explains the policies used by South Sudan after inflation and unemployment increase. The main goal is to stabilize the economy, control price, and reduce unemployment. South Sudan's monetary policy is weak because of low oil income and limited foreign reserve. This makes it hard to control inflation and stabilize the exchange rate. South Sudan fiscal policy focus on collecting more revenue and spending on important needs like salaries and social services, while reducing dependence on oil income. To conclude our presentation, let's look at the current economic situation in South Sudan. The country continues to face major challenges like high inflation and unemployment. The main reasons for this are a heavy reliance on oil and ongoing political instability because investment in agriculture and infrastructure has been limited. It has been difficult to create new jobs or grow other parts of the economy, while the government has introduced new policies. Long-term stability will only happen if the country improves its governance and moves beyond oil to create more opportunities for these people. Thank you.